What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I decided to do a holiday guide as we're getting ready to go into the holiday season of 2015. And I figured I would put together a video where I can show off stuff that you can get your loved ones, or a video you can show your parents of what you might want, hint hint, for this upcoming holiday season. So everything I mentioned in this video is going to link in the description below. So as you watch this and you see something that you might want, or you want to drop a hint, feel free to look in the description below, click that and send it to your parents, or I guess leave hints around the house or whatever of things that you would want. So without further ado, let's go down this list in no particular order. Start with number 1. Video games. Now, with video games, you can never go wrong with getting a game for your loved one, but the only disadvantage is the fact that Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the most recent game that came out, but that came out in February, but now I'm pretty much sure that everybody has already played it. But if they haven't, feel free to get your loved one Dragon Ball Xenoverse for the PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, or the PC. It's a pretty great game, and in my opinion, it's probably one of my most favorite Dragon Ball games of all time. But if you did play that, then I suggest exploring other ventures. For example, Extreme Butoden came on a 3DS, and that's a pretty fun game to check out as well. But let's say your loved one doesn't have a 3DS, and they already played Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Well, feel free to go back even further beyond, or I guess further in the past, Trunk style, and jump into old gen games like Dragon Ball Raging Blast 1 and 2, and Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Both of these games are incredible, and I feel like a lot of people missed out on them. And if you did miss out on it, then I would suggest you check out those games immediately and get those for your loved ones as well. Now, before I move on to my next point, I do want to send out a warning. If you're trying to get a video game for somebody, make sure you stay away from 2 titles: Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi and Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. While both of these games weren't up to quality, some people enjoyed them, but for the most part, they're not fan favorites. And if you're new to the world of Dragon Ball games, I suggest you don't get those for your loved ones because they might be kind of upset. So if I have to personally choose, I would say Dragon Ball Xenoverse at the top, followed by Burst Limit, and then the Raging Blast series. If you get any of those, then great. And also, if they do have a 3DS, I highly recommend Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden. Number 2 on our list is going to cater to the hardcore Dragon Ball fan, the one that wants to own the series completely, physically, and I'm talking about the manga fans. Now, what better way to show off that you're a Dragon Ball fan than to own the actual, I should say, the Bible of Dragon Ball, which is the manga. You have 2 versions of it. You have the actual original Dragon Ball volumes of 1 through 16, which is basically following the original series of Dragon Ball, Kid Goku, Yamcha, Krillin, Bulma. That's the original series to basically birth Dragon Ball as a whole. And then you have the second one, which of course is Dragon Ball Z, which consists of 26 volumes. Now, the manga is a bit more expensive. The first original volume, 1 through 16, costs roughly about $120, and then the Dragon Ball Z series, which is 26 volumes, costs roughly about $230. But if you know someone's a hardcore Dragon Ball fan, there's probably nothing better that you can get than the actual Dragon Ball set. And if you want to get both of them, I guarantee whoever receives a full Dragon Ball set of Dragon Ball 1 through 16 and 1 through 26, they will love you. So definitely throw it on your list if you can. I guarantee you people will not be disappointed. Moving on to number 3 is figures, because who doesn't like figures? Now, when it comes down to figures, we break it out into 2 parts. Part 1 is going to be essentially talking about the statues, stuff like Banpresto puts out, and part 2 is going to be more about the articulated stuff that SH Figuarts and Tamashii Nations have worked on. Now, with Banpresto, anything that's a statue, a lot of people tend to love more because it's easier to kind of toss up on a shelf or something and kind of leave it there to kind of add that flair to your room. But be very aware that any statue you might get, there's a possibility of it being a fake, and the fakes look a little bit, for the most part, they look good, but you can notice that they're fake, so I will stay away from those. Now, for the real ones, I will link them in the description below. They're a little bit more expensive. They range to about between $40 and more, but trust me, as a Dragon Ball fan, anybody that receives a Banpresto figure, they will love it. Now, the second part is going to be talking about the articulated figures, the one where you can create your own poses, and the best brand for that will be Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts. Now, it's funny, actually, SH Figuarts right now is probably the best time to get those because they just released 2 brand new figures this week for a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and a Golden Frieza. As well as a couple weeks ago, they released a Ultimate Gohan, as well as a Vegito, and then they also re-released Teen Gohan. Now, note, with SH Figuarts, these figures become very, very rare, and they get scooped up fast. And once they get scooped up, they become very expensive. The average price for these figures ranges around $40 or so, and if you want to see them yourself, like I said, they will be linked in the description below. But just remember, if you miss out on the figure, they become very, very expensive. And if you go back to even further, the original releases like Future Trunks and Super Saiyan Vegeta, they range between $300 and $400, so they can get pretty pricey. However, if you want to get your loved one something now that came out recently. Like I said, they have Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, they have Golden Frieza, they have Ultimate Gohan, and they're also releasing this amazing new Awakened mode Goku, which is basically Goku when he wasn't playing Namek, and I believe this one's going to sell out pretty fast as well. So I definitely recommend getting the figure. And if I had to choose personally between Banpresto and SH Figuarts, I like articulated figures, so I definitely go with the SH Figuarts over the statues more. So I recommend those. Again, all of this information will be linked in the description below, so all you have to do is kind of scroll down, go to the toys figure section, and you'll be able to see the different options and stuff available that you can purchase for your kids or loved ones, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. Just go down there and you'll see everything listed that I recommend, that I know for sure that any Dragon Ball fan will love. Moving on to number 4, we of course have the Blu-rays and DVDs, and we're going to go ahead and start off with the Resurrection F DVD as well as Battle Gods. Now, Resurrection F just came out recently in October on DVD release, and Battle Gods came out a good year ago or so. But if you want to take it a step further beyond, to go even beyond, then I highly recommend you get the Blu-rays as well. And you have two options. You have the option of getting the Dragon Ball Z Kai stuff, which is basically Dragon Ball Z without filler. It's also more recent and more updated. And then you also have the original run as well, just the Dragon Ball Z series that kind of includes all the filler and extra stuff as well. Now, I've always been personally a bigger fan of the original run, so I like the longer episode stuff. So I would recommend the original 8 seasons, which will also be linked in the description below. But again, if you know the person that you're shopping for, if they prefer Dragon Ball Z Kai, then I also recommend that as well. Again, everything I'm talking about in this video will be listed in the description below in a pretty organized fashion. So just look down there and you will see everything I'm talking about. And finally, number 5 on my Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Holiday Shopping Guide is the miscellaneous stuff. Now, for this one, I didn't really know what to exactly talk about, but I figured we'd talk about the posters, the clothing, the keychains, kind of like the extra stuff that people tend to kind of ignore. And for this stuff, you can get anywhere. Now, with clothing, I recommend going in person to places like Zoomies or even Hot Topic, where they have various Dragon Ball Z t-shirts. Or also, if you want to stick to the whole online shopping, you can find those online as well. Now, for clothing, I'm not going to list it in the description below. Just like I said, it's a lot easier to go into a store like Hot Topic and find the DBZ-related clothes from there, because they have pretty good options. If you go there, if you find anything with Goku on the shirt or whatever, just pick it up, and I guarantee you whoever you give it to will love it. As far as posters and stuff, you can always go to a site like enightmedia.com or even Amazon and just kind of look up various things. But honestly, from this ultimate shopping guide list, my top favorite, of course, will probably have to be between the games and the figures, followed by the manga and the DVDs and stuff. Now, I own the mangas, I own the figures, I own the games. I own less DVDs, but I'm going to probably get those for myself as well. But if I had to choose my favorites, I would have to go between the figures and the games, because it's something you kind of get to hold. It has better value and it's more enjoyable and fun. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my ultimate Dragon Ball Z shopping guide for holiday 2015. With that said, if you are a parent or you're trying to get something for your boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, sister, cousin, whatever, neighbor, if you have any questions of stuff that you recommend or have any questions regards of whether or not people will like it, feel free to drop your comment below and I will do my best to answer any and every single question as we go into the holiday season. Because I know when I was a kid, the thing I loved the most was getting Dragon Ball presents. Any game, any figure, whatever, brought the most joy to me. And I know there's people out there like that who will absolutely love getting Dragon Ball related stuff for Christmas, birthdays, holidays, whatever you're celebrating this month. And I guarantee you will not go wrong by getting your loved one some kind of Dragon Ball related gift. So yeah. So if there's any question you have, feel free to drop me a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like right below. And if there's any younger viewers in this video, feel free to give this video to your parents. I'm sure it's going to be a great guide for them. It will help them out. And also feel free to hint to them what it is you want. But again, everything I talk about in this video will be linked in the description below, so you can get easy access to it and for sure, not be disappointed with like fake stuff or whatever. So check that out in the description below. And anybody else, if you have any questions, I will see you in the comment section below. Peace.